What up? Hey, yo, SB. Yo, peace head, trim out, bruise out, smiles, spoon. This one's for Queen.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you're new to my channel, where have you been? Like, where have you been, Madaska? Where have you been? Because you know I've been got the information you need to look into the guys and register nurse. So where have you been? Where? Welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, kindly click the subscribe button down below. And for the old subscribers, you all know I miss you guys, and you know I hate you guys. Yeah? Okay. So basically today's video is the much awaited video of how I got an 8 in my IELTS. I'm just gonna give you tips. Like I said, I give you the tea, the cookie, and the sauce, including the information and the facts all joined together. So guys, let's hit it. First of all, before you start preparing for your IELTS, you need to be mentally prepared. You need to, be mentally prepared and tell yourself that you're about to write a serious exam. IELTS is a serious exam, believe me. Believe that. IELTS is a very, very serious exam. Serious in the terms of it's not like it's not just an English exam. It's an exam that has to do with critical thinking, yeah? And you're listening to people talk, you're listening to people's conversations, and you have to pinpoint what they say. That's for the listening part. IELTS have 4 sections. It has the reading, the listening, the writing, and the speaking parts. 4 sections, and they're actually graded over 9. Yeah, over 9. And the NMC UK requires that you score at least a 7 in each. However, they recently reduced the score you can score in writing. If you get 7 in other ones and then get 6.5 in writing, it's still acceptable. However, you must score an overall. You must score an overall in 7 rather in all of them. Yeah, so that's basically it. So how did I get an 8 in my IELTS? I must tell you the truth, that was my second time writing IELTS. I know a lot of you out there, I know a lot of people that have written 7 times, they're still writing. Look, don't think about all those things. Do not think about it, believe me. At the end of the day, just focus your energy on making it. It doesn't matter how many times you write it. At the end of the day, it's all gonna be worth it. At the end of the day, let it be written, let it be said somewhere that you passed. It doesn't matter. Like, okay, now I'm telling you I had an 8 in IELTS. If I didn't tell you I wrote it 20 times or I wrote it 2 times, you wouldn't know, innit? You wouldn't know. So forget about what people will say. Just focus your energy on passing it, okay? And don't be depressed. I must tell you, at some point in my life I was depressed during the preparation for this process. I was depressed for a lot of reasons. The previous year I lost a lot of money, millions of naira. Did I just say millions of naira? No, millions. I don't reach like that though. No. Okay, anyway, the previous year I lost quite a lot of money, and that year as well I lost a lot of money as well. So failing my IELTS, or maybe not failing my IELTS, but not getting up to the required marks by the NMC, it really hit hard on me. I was depressed for a long time, and then I mustered up courage to write a second time. I didn't want to write, but my sister had to, talk to me, because she was like, okay, even let's just assume you do not want to write the IELTS again. Would you just let your 80k you spend, because I actually paid, now the NMC has reduced CBT money to about 50,000 or so, but during my time I had to pay 80,000 to write the CBT. So she was like, are you gonna let your CBT money go? And I thought about it. I was like, oh no, I can't leave this CBT money. I can't. So I thought about it. I was like, no, I'm not gonna leave this 80k that I paid for CBT to just waste like that. That was what drove me to write. Maybe if I hadn't written CBT, or if I didn't have something to hold on to and say, okay, because of this thing I'm going to write this out, maybe I wouldn't have written. I was really, really depressed. It got to me here because I felt like everything I was putting my hand into wasn't working. It was a really hard time for me. But I'm just saying this, like, I mean, this is a video talking about IELTS. I'm supposed to go through to the point of telling you about the process, of how to pass your IELTS, but I don't know why I just have the inkling to talk about my experience in preparing for IELTS and how I felt and all that. Probably there's someone out there listening to me that needs to hear this. IELTS doesn't define who you are. At some point I felt it did. But then I just thought, I was like, Sensha, you aced your CBT. I told you, if you watch my previous video, I talked about, my CBT experience. CBT is a 4-hour exam. I finished in 1 hour 20 minutes. No jokes. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I felt like, how can I finish it this fast? Obviously, the people that started that put 4 hours, they know why they put 4 hours. And I'm finishing it in less than how many minutes? So I feel, well, bottom line is I passed it. So I just told myself, I was like, if I pass, what defines me as a nurse? CBT exams doesn't even define you as a person, first of all. And then CBT, which is the closest thing to my profession, the CBT is about nursing and about, basically nursing codes, nursing standards and guidelines that guide the practice of nursing in UK and stuff, and public safety and all that, and patient safety, and drug calculation, just basically everything about nursing. I passed it at a go. So why should I be bothered about not passing English, which is just, critical thinking that has nothing to actually do with the profession. So at some point I was like, no, it doesn't define me. And my sister kept pushing me, you cannot let your 80k go, just write it. And I wrote it the second time, and I got an 8. So which leads me to how I got an 8 in IELTS. Now, first things first, like I said in the beginning, you need to prepare your mind that you're going to write an exam. And number 2, you don't need to be scared. A lot of people, they know it, especially in the speaking part. They know it, and then they go there, they see the examiner, and it's a brain freeze for them. Which is crazy, right? But, I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's different. We cannot, react to situations or react to people the way other people react. So at the end of the day, we shouldn't be scared. Do not be scared. What's the worst that can happen? Just before you go to the exam, think, what's the worst that can happen in IELTS exam? I fail it, in it. Is it not my money? It's my money. I fail it and then I write again. I fail it again and then I write again. I fail it again and then I write again. I write again and keep writing till I pass it. Till I pass it. Have that mentality. Do not be scared of anything. Of failure, do not be scared. The man who invented Faraday, who invented electricity, is it Faraday? I don't know, I'll give his name down below. The man who invented electricity, he failed 999 times, but he rose up and kept writing and kept doing it and kept doing it until we made electricity, which we're enjoying today. So it doesn't matter how many times you write it. It shouldn't depress you. There's no need for thinking of suicide, contemplating on the worst. No. If it happens, you write again and you keep writing till you pass it. So, don't be scared of anything. And then number 3, you need to practice. At the end of the day, practice makes perfect, innit? You have to practice. The site I used to practice during my time was IELTSonlinetests.com. I'm going to leave the link down below. IELTSonlinetests.com. Another line I used to, practice, especially my writing, is IELTSbody. BUDDY.com. IELTSbody.com. And I also once or twice looked at IELTSlist.com. But the major one I used to practice is IELTS Online and IELTS Buddy. Then also you need to watch YouTube videos. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, but the ones that I think really helped me, and I wish I listened to them earlier. If I had listened to them earlier, I feel maybe I would have passed my first IELTS. I wouldn't have had to write it the second time. Is IELTS by J. J is good. And then IELTS by Adam. J is good, Adam is good, but I feel like they address different components. Adam, I like Adam because Adam talked about writing a lot, and then in his talk about writing, I feel like he touched all the topics that you could meet in the IELTS test of writing. I feel like he talked about weather, he talked about technology, he talked about food, he touched everything. So if you can watch all of Adam's video, it gives you an inkling, it gives you an insight about everything. So when you go to the exam, regardless of what they ask you, you have something to say. If he might not exactly talk about the type of technology they will ask you in the exam, but because he talked about technology and he has already given you an insight on how to address and write about questions about technology, you're kind of prepared. Anyhow, you just put it down, and maybe in the place of where he wrote technology, you can write whatever they give you. Maybe they give you to talk about television, you take, remove his technology, impute your television. I don't know if you understand me. So he talked about everything. And then J is good, listen to IELTS by J. Then try to improve on your vocabulary. I learned some big words. And apart from your vocabulary, try to improve in your simple, compound, and complex sentences. And try to inculcate them in your paragraph. Now, the IELTS have 4 paragraphs. Usually the first paragraph is the introduction, the second and third paragraph is the body, and then the last paragraph is basically your conclusion. So try to inculcate, maybe in the first paragraph you can use simple sentence. In the second paragraph, make sure you have a complex sentence there. In the third paragraph, make sure you have a compound sentence. Simple sentences, for example, Obi is a boy. That's a simple sentence, yeah? Compound sentence, Obi is a boy but has a sister. That's a compound sentence. It's a joining of 2 or more simple sentences. That's a compound sentence. Then a complex sentence is literally a sentence that has 2 or more simple sentence but is demarcated. There's a presence of a clause. Clauses, examples of clauses are literally short words that could stand on their own, but you could join them in a sentence as well. So clauses, you can use to join 2 clauses, you can use however, words like however, nevertheless, yeah? So a complex sentence will go like this: Obi is a boy, nevertheless he has a sister called Simbi who is a girl. That's a complex sentence. So by the time you inculcate this, the examiner or whoever is marking your scripts can be able to see that, oh, this guy he not just have a wide vocabulary of English, he knows how to inculcate simple, compound, and complex sentences and use them well. Now, another trick in writing IELTS is not by using big words, it's not by using big sentences. It's about using them well. If you know you are not quite sure if that sentence or that word should be used at that part or at that point in time, please don't use it. Just use the one you know. Use what you know. You do not have to, try to impress and talk about big words where they're not supposed to be in the wrong context. You do not do that. That is even extra failure for you. So to avoid that, just go straight to the point. And another thing you need to do, I'm still going to talk about how to ace an 8 in IELTS. This is just the first video. Another thing is, make sure you have a captivating introduction. Make sure you have a captivating introduction. Your introduction is what draws and lures your reader in. I mean, for the writing, because I see that a lot of people, they have issues in the writing aspect of IELTS. So make sure your introduction draws your reader in. For example, if they ask you, this is how IELTS question usually goes most of the time. Technology, they say, have done more bad than good. What is your opinion? Do you agree that it has done more bad than good? How you should start your introduction is, technology, you look at it from the wider scope. Technology is a good thing. That's a wide scope. Then you streamline it. A lot of people are of the opinion that technology has done more bad than good. Now you're saying what the writer wrote, yeah? You're repeating literally, but you're changing it in your own words. A lot of people are of the opinion that technology has done more bad than good. However, this is where you give your point now. I disagree or I agree. That should be your introduction. Then the body of your writing would be, you start giving points. Or maybe your introduction, you can still go, if you want, you can still go ahead and say, I disagree because technology has done one and technology has done two. Like list two things that you feel that technology have done that makes you to think that it hasn't done more bad than good. So after listing, that's your introduction. Then you go to the body. You pick up one of the things you listed that makes you to feel that technology has not done bad, rather it has done good, and you say technology has done good because through technology we can watch movies, we can see what is happening in the other part of the world, we are able to know what's happening at each point in time, and it makes us feel safe. Yeah, that's your first body. Your second body, you talk about the second thing you listed that technology has done that makes you feel that it has done more good than bad. And then in conclusion, you write the reasons why you dispute the fact that it has done more bad than good. So literally it's really like, if I had watched videos about these people, I feel like I would have done better in my first IELTS. So just watch these videos, and like I said, practice, practice, practice. And one more thing, before you start practicing and practicing, when you practice using IELTS, or you can use any test center practice test online, whichever one you want, but the one I'm more conversant with is IELTSonline.test.com. I'm gonna leave the link down below. What you do first of all in the beginning of the process is you take this test. You take 1 or 2 or 3 complete tests. When I mean complete tests, I mean writing, listening, and speaking, and reading. You take one complete test, take the second complete test, and after taking these 2 tests, it kind of gives you an insight on where your weak points are, and then you focus on your weak points. Always remember to focus on your weak points. Where you're good, and nothing can take away that. But where you're not good, you need to focus on those your weak points, where you feel that you might have issues. You focus on them and try to work on them. Yeah, and I wish you guys luck. I'm still going to talk, because a lot of people sent me emails that they've been having issues with their reading and their writing. Listening is it requires more practice, but a lot of people have issues in reading and writing. I'm going to be doing specific videos addressing issues and how to go about your reading and your writing. They're going to be short videos anyway, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, and hope to see you guys again soon. Bye.